Peace. Man, happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. I want to talk about how, this existence we dealing with, it's no destination. It's a never-ending story. How sometimes we could forget that. And not even say forget. Like we'll get caught in that mind frame of thinking like, once I get this, then I'll be happy, in which always spoken of in the, dealing with the law of attraction and manifesting things. That's like the last type of mind frame you want to have to manifest things, because, you have to be grateful for what you have in the moment for things to even come, even more. So to feel like, well, once I get happy, then or I'll be happy once I get this, that's the illusion, and I think of like the reason why we're always told to be in the moment. It's about enjoying the process, enjoying, the journey of it, and of course that does sound like corny, but when you really think about it, all right, I want to have $1 million, and this goes for material things as well as spiritual, because one of the main things in Zen they talk about is just be, and whatever you're doing, just be doing it for the wholeness of doing it in that moment, and nothing else. Like, you shouldn't be practicing Zen or any spiritual practice for a destination. How could there be a destination in a never-ending story? We are eternal. There's no beginning, no end. Again, that's just us, like the ego just not wanting to grasp that situation. So we're always trying to define something that's undefinable and something that is eternal, and infinite. Trying to put a finite definition on it, and it's basically impossible. But anyway, like so again, from trying to find a destination through a spiritual practice or trying to find a destination through material things, it all comes to a point where it's like, all right, what's next? Like now what? What I'm saying? Like I became a millionaire, all right. Now I want $1 billion, now it's on to the next, what I'm saying? Like, so once you get to that million, you think like, oh, all right, I'm gonna just be happy and satisfied right here. It's like, it's more life, to live. And just feeling like you get some type of satisfaction of, oh, I'm done, or life is just, I fulfilled life. Now that I reached this destination, like, there's no more life to live. Like, fool, you are here for eternity. Like, you never going nowhere. So to think in one, and think of the fact that we have multiple lifetimes. So to fall to a destination in one lifetime, that's just just an insane standpoint to have for any of us that may fall into it. It's like, it's really no destination. It's a constant growth. Another testament to why my intuition never felt like, intuitively I never felt right with goal setting. Like I did overstand the situation of like say for instance, you kind of have like a certain, you set your pointer in a certain direction in essence, because I think about like how the boat floating in water, like of course you don't want to you got to go with the flow, go with the current, but like let's say not in the river, but let's say like you're sitting in the ocean, like just it's like you just floating there, like just floating. So, it does take some type of little, inspired direction. Like, well, let me float in this direction. Let me float. You know what I'm saying? But not necessarily having like an outcome as far as like, all right, I want to go to this exact point off the coast of such and such. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, but just pointing to a certain direction. But still, even with that, again, it's like why the goal setting is not really it's more of a human logic situation and not really something of the soul. So with all that destination, like once I make a platinum record, man, that's all I'm telling you, bro. I make that platinum record, platinum racket. Some of the quote unquote music today could fall under that racket, but You know, once I get that platinum record, that's a wrap. I done live. I don't, you know. And now you're sitting with your little platinum plaque on the walls. Now what, you know? Like, what's next? You know, because obviously you're not just going to be satisfied with reaching that little, again, that destination. Like, reaching a destination like that, that's an illusion. It's all about enjoying the journey. And again, back to being in the moment. Because what being in the moment is enjoying every moment. It's not saying, well, you know, when I get my house in Venice, then I'm going to be happy. No, I'm enjoying my house's transition. I'm enjoying every moment of this situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here like, oh, well, nah, well, I'll be happy once, you know, once I do this or once I do that. It's like, no, be happy in the moment. If you know, and being in the moment is, you know, being a part of the process, being a part of, you know, in the journey. And some people could say, but shit, man, what if, you know, and this, I'll break it down. What if the process is messed up? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if, you know, I went through the struggle in the process or whatever? Just say, you know, if somebody was to have that question, and, you know, of like trying to look at the destination as something better, and like, oh, well, you know, I've been through this and that in the process. I mean, now for one, that's your perception of it, you know, of it being bad or whatever, you know, that you went through. That's your perception of it, and it's mostly because you're still in that, you know, you probably was still in that brainwashed state of, you know, where we think life is happening to us. So it's like, you know, you're still in that situation where you think you have no control over what's happening to you. So that's another reason why you might take that standpoint of like not liking the process, because in the moment you wasn't, and I say taking control, in lack of a better word, you know, because it's not necessarily complete control, but, you know, you wasn't, you know, taking advantage of, you know, manifesting the moment how you would love it to be, you know what I'm saying? Because you were still in the illusion that, you know, that you didn't have no influence over what was happening to you, and that, you know, like you had to go through a lot of these things. And even, because, I mean, I'm trying to put this into words, like the process of it, like, say for instance, it could seem strenuous from either perspective to a person that, you know, isn't hip to you know, the situation of being, you know, influencing things and manifesting things. And it also could seem strenuous to a person who knows of these things, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you know, I think of plenty of situations where it's like, even though I'm consciously aware of the fact that pressure makes a diamond, you know, I still come out of that situation like, whoo, you know, that was a tough one right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, not hating the situation, not, you know, disliking the situation, but, you know, seeing the situation for what it was. Like, man, that was kind of difficult right there, you know. But hey, I'm glad I turned that into the diamond, you know, through that pressure. You know, that's another thing too, a person not realizing that pressure or that stuff that seemed bad, you know, is, you know, trying to make a diamond out of the soul, you know, or working to make a diamond out of the soul. I don't like to use the word trying, but, you know, it's working to make a, you know, a diamond out of a situation. So again, you know, if you have the illusion of like, oh man, well, what about, you know, the hardships and this and that, you know, you're just still under that illusion of the vibe that, you know, things are happening to you and that you don't have no influence over what happens in your life, you know. And again, back to even with the spiritual vibes, you know, where it's no destination, you know. It's like, all right, once I learn to meditate, that's a wrap. I made it. You know, once I start eating healthy, that's a wrap, you know, because especially like that, those two vibes, like, you know, once I start meditating and eating healthy, you know, I done reached to, like, no, it's still a growth, you know. Now it's time to learn how to make your Merkaba spin, you know, and now it's time to learn how to keep your toroidal field growing, you know what I'm saying? Now it's time to learn how to steer your plasma, you know, after you're out of your body, you know what I'm saying? Like, it never stops, you know what I'm saying? It's a never-ending story of growth, you know. You know, never-ending story, you know. I reached the state of awakening now, you know, I reached the state of awakening. All right, now what? You know, again, back to the spiritual, whether in the spiritual realm or the material realm, you know, having that destination still kind of gets to that now what point, because we're in a never-ending story of constant growth. You know, it's just all about, it's no beginning and no end. You know, that's just our little monkey mind wanting to create that situation just to intellectualize and conceptualize the situation, but it's like all this existed way before they had words for this. That's why your subconscious, you know, deals with symbols more than, you know, words. You know, words does have an effect, of course, but it's like, you know, think about like it being a little baby, like you just going off of, you know, say for instance, as a little baby, you know, were your thoughts in English before somebody taught you how to speak English? Or were you just kind of imagining objects and I want to do this and I want to do that, you know? It's you know, our existence again came before these words and all those little situations, so it's deeper than that, but excuse me. That's basically it, you know. Just want to share that with y'all, you know, where we get caught up into the illusion. And I myself definitely, man, I'm, you know, of course, and I want to tie myself to this energy, but it is what it is with what I see that comes with it in my, you know, within my life. Is that Capricorn energy of wanting to fulfill, you know, like manifest, you know, being in the material world, goal set, climbing the mountain, you know, climbing the mountain, trying to get to the top, you know what I'm saying? But realizing that, you know, in this case, there is no top, you know what I'm saying? It's just a continuous growth. And if there was a top, it would cycle you right back down to the bottom so you could go through it again. You know what I'm saying? Eternal loop. You know, never going. And being in the internal loop could be, you know, could be joyful to some, and it could be depressing to some. It all depends on your perception and how you perceive things. But, you know, definitely with the, you know, the destination, like trying to say, like, once I get this, once I become a famous rapper, once I become a, you know, a famous YouTuber, once I become, you know, a basketball player, once, you know, it's like when you, and then you get to those points and you still feel like something missing in essence, you know? Like, that's what I realized too about, like, not wanting to, you know, chase the fame or the wealth. Because now one thing is with the situation now, indirectly, you know, which you'll realize that the stuff that you were looking for in essence in your ego to a certain extent, you'll get it indirectly by just doing what you love, you know? Like, so say for instance, by helping others, by, like, say for instance, like, you're not trying to be famous, but by helping others on a mass scale, you know, a lot of people catch wind of it. And, you know, indirectly you're famous, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like when you look at some of the spiritual teachers and people, you know, they wasn't saying like, hey, I'm going to start spiritually teaching so I could become known for all eternity. No, they just were spiritually teaching some stuff that, you know, how can I say, it had the type of vibe that brought forward a certain type of reverence for it too, where it's like, all right, we gotta pay attention. So the fame just come in directly, but it's not like, you know, chasing it. And I had that those thoughts for myself as well, you know, just looking at the whole situation of being in you know, LA, which of course it wasn't so much to just, oh, I just want to be famous, but that influence was somewhere, you know, underneath the vibes. I wouldn't front like it wasn't, you know. And then I kind of got like a few little situations that just, you know, let me know like, nah, you might want to just, you know, enjoy the process, you know, be in the moment. Don't rush trying. Matter of fact, definitely not in LA, in Hollywood. You don't want to rush the process of trying to, you know, be anything, because you might end up signing some contracts or being at some mansion parties that you want to be at. So you might want to just again do what you love, and the rest will follow. And not having no certain destination. Because you realize, like, all right, I got the big mansion, but I left my family out, because that's another thing where I think about, like, why I always try to. Now, of course, for me right now, I'm just dealing with a situation where I'm still kind of tightening up on my programming on my subconscious, so I stay away from, talking to a lot of different people, just in general, but like, that's one of the reasons why I try to, or not try, but I do my best to stay connected with family, no matter what level of consciousness they're on, or family and friend, just everybody, because, again, it's a part of the growth of where you see where you could, all right, I want all these things, and then you just push your family away, then you'll have this big house or this, this situation, and then, you have nobody to enjoy the moments of that situation with. Yeah, you got the big house, all right, now who you gonna enjoy moment to moment with, who you gonna be in the now with to enjoy, what I'm saying? Not saying that you need somebody with, but in essence, we all could kind of, in essence, agree upon that we love to interact, at some point in our day, in any situation, just in our life existence, we like to interact with others. So, that's what I think about too. Like when we be blinded, almost again blinded by a goal or destination. Like I gotta do this before this, or I gotta, and you're not really enjoying the process, because you turn it into a job and a destination and a point to reach. So you taking it out of, just being and enjoying the process. But again, we just gotta realize it's about enjoying every moment. Enjoying every moment, and to enjoy every moment, you gotta do what you love. Oh man, well, I don't love my job, man. Well, you need to quit it. A lot of people like, well, and I gotta put it on blast, but it's not a bad thing, but just like, well, some people be like, well, I got a roommate that does such and such and such, what should I do? Or I got this job, such and such and such, what should I do? Or I got this toxic situation at work, or what should I do? You should get away from it, you know what I'm saying? Your ego just kind of got you locked down in that security mode, of like, yeah, but, it gives me money, and it, like, material, fake imaginary money, soul growth, soul bliss, soul growth, imaginary money, imaginary destinations, soul growth, never ending story of soul growth. But again, and that whole situation again could sound corny, that's one of the cliche, corny little, not say corny, but it's all about the process. Matter of fact, because that's one of the ones, like, it's all about the process and all about the journey. That could sound like them fools who be trying to make a work out of everybody, where it's like it's all about the hard work. It's all, so it kind of mimics that same tone, in essence, but it's beneficial for your soul nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? So again, just remembering enjoying the process, and think about enjoying the process. Think about how many times we laugh at the little quote unquote messed up situation. Like, man, I remember when I caught that flat tire and this and that and such happened. I remember when I shitted on myself in first grade, and it, what I'm saying? Like, you could go back to those moments and laugh and realize how you grew from those moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's another, situation to that as well. Like, seeing that it really is about enjoying the journey and enjoying the process. And being in every moment. If you do not enjoy the moment, then change it to something that you will enjoy, you know. And if it can't happen overnight, then just start working on moving towards, you know, putting it in a place where you will enjoy every moment, you know. That's what it's all about, you know. I'm enjoying the process of my house's transition, but now that I'm more than ready to, you know, be in a home, now I start, you know, like, all right, like I say, on the journey, like being more strong about that, but not seeing it as a destination. I know I kind of popped out of that thought in essence, because I was kind of going somewhere a little different with that. Y'all know how that go. But that's basically it, you know. Just get to a point of realizing that, you know, once I get spiritual enlightenment to this point, once I learn about the Bible or the Holy Quran or, you know, the Meta Nature, you know, it's like, now what? Constantly growing, you know. And again, I definitely, which I always say, a lot of my videos, I'm not just, you know, speaking for, you know, to share for others, but I'm also just sharing a part of my journey, you know what I'm saying? Because I've dealt with this myself, kind of falling into that vibe of like low-key having a little destination or a little goal, and it's like, you know, and two, that's the most important thing. It's about, you know, see all of this, see it as a part of the journey instead of a destination of happiness. So it's cool to want to have the house and want to have the platinum record and want to get the million or want to reach a certain place of spiritual awakening. You know, that's all cool, but see it as a part of the journey instead of a destination of happiness. You know, seeing our destination in general, you know, it's like, you know, it's a kind, once you get there, all right, you're just gonna float around in that little area, you know. Matter of fact, back to being in, you know, in the ocean, you know, it's like floating around, and that's funny because that's oxymoronic, you know, where it's like having a destination in essence to leave you kind of floating around, because like once you get to that destination, now what you gonna do, float around, you know. Or like or on the reverse side of like, or you could be, you know, without some kind of form of direction, you know, you could just be floating around in a detrimental manner in that. So you could be floating around with a destination, or you could be floating around just without having some sense of direction. Like either one, you know, could be detrimental in essence. But that's basically it, you know. Just to know that it is a never-ending story, no destinations with anything, you know. And it's that thin line, because I could feel. What's funny, when I say certain things, my higher self kind of takes your voice and amplify like the type of questioning that you would have. So it's like, all right, so just completely no goal setting and this and that. I mean, put it like this: when you living in the moment, in the now, you'll constantly see that you'll get inspiration for what's next, you know. And when you're constantly living in the now, it's gonna constantly bring you to places of, you know, what you love, you know. So if you just riding the wave of the now, everything will be taken care of, you know what I'm saying? Like, without having the destination on that type of level, just be in the moment and follow your inspiration. When I say just be in the moment, just be in the moment, like just sit around, you know, follow your inspirations from like when you're in the moment, you know, doing, you know, go with the flow. Like what's your higher self letting you know as you're in the moment, you know? Like, all right, next we want to go to this place, all right, you know, and follow the voice that's trying to go somewhere with your love. You know, dealing with what you love, like, because you got that voice of like dealing with what you love, and then we still got that old subconscious programming of like, nah, but you know, you gotta do this and you gotta do that, and it's hard and strenuous, and it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Peace. Happy now. Now it's the vibrating, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace.